So what are we doing this week? Well, this week we're going to be going in and getting rid of this large hole in our windshield here by replacing it with another piece of glass. But that's not really where our end game is. We're going to be pulling this piece of glass out, leaving it out so that we can go in and put a headliner in this car in preparation for making this thing drivable for Jackson in the near future. Stick around. We've got more coming after the break.
For 45 years, the Miller family and the dedicated staff at Autocrafters have been here helping you to restore your dream Ford. Thank you for your support. Here's to another 45 years of delivering parts for your Falcon, Fairlane, F100, Galaxy, Maverick, and Pinto.
So one of the first things you're going to take off on your Fairlanes is this piece of trim right here. You'll take them off on both sides. Go ahead and get that done almost immediately. They're held in with three Phillips head screws. Make sure you have a screwdriver that has a really good tine on it. If your points of your screwdriver are not really good, like these are really eaten up, then these are not going to come out. 9 chances out of 10, you're going to run into a problem or you're not going to be able to take it out. Easily anyway. So what you need to do then is come in with some power, possibly, and try to take it out with an impact. Now this can cause as many problems as it fixes sometimes. Yeah, see, that one just blew out. So that one's going to have to come out with a screw or with a drill bit. Sometimes it's going to happen. In those instances, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. That one is held in by a piece of tab of metal. It's even stripping out that one. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get, this one's gonna have to come out first. This one's loose already, so I can probably pick this off of there, but I've got to get a drill bit to drill that one out, unfortunately. I've got a drill bit that's a little bit smaller than the screw shank. Just pop the head and everything else. But we will have to try to source some of those screws. Now this one on the bottom here is boogered out pretty bad as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and drill it out as well. Get that thing out of there. This should pull right off. A little bit more dramatically than I thought it was going to, but it should pull right off. I'm going to work with my old man glasses on because you're dealing with glass. I'll typically wear gloves when I do this kind of stuff. I know I normally have a devil-may-care attitude about some of these things, but in this case I don't. Now this is a tool you're going to be using all the way from China. This is a trim tool for removing these type of clips that are behind this reveal molding here. I'm just going to seek along until you find one. Kind of pulling up on the trim there. Don't pull real hard because you don't want to damage. These things can be a bugger to get out of here too, by the way. I think that one came out. They are a spring clip. There we go. Popped off of it. There. There's usually one dead center because that's the most inconvenient place on a car to get. I'm on it, but It's original trim. It's got a little bit more give to it, and it will spring back a little bit better. I'm on the clip. There we go. Unconventional use of the tool. There we are. This trim has been off this car before because there's some pretty good kinks in it. If you guys are interested, we can do a light video on how to restore that. All right. I'm going to come back around. I'm going to put this up on top. I'm going to come back around. I'm going to show you the type of clip it is. Here's the trim clip. I'm going to put it up here so you can see it. All of these are pulled out. You want to save these. The original trim clips are pretty good, and you can actually reuse them in order to affect what you need. But that's the trim clips that are in there. And what you're grabbing with the tool, take my glove off, what you're grabbing with the tool is right here. That little bump up is your grab point for the tool, if you can get it in there and get it to hook. I have another one I used to use that I modified, but I can't find it after the move, so I had to use that one to get that out. Now we're going to move down to the lower trim, which is a little different in the way it's put on a Fairlane than a Mustang or any other car in the Ford line. Well, aside from a Comet and a Montego. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this panel off. And that might be like, why are you removing that panel in order to take this off? Because the clips for this trim piece here are actually up underneath this panel. So you have a bumper out on the end here. And that bumper is toast. Sometimes what you're going to encounter with these things is that they're not going to release like you want them to. This screw is wallowed out on this cowl area. There's one there. One right dead center. You go to the other side. Take these out. That one don't want to come out. That one don't want to come out. And that one doesn't want to come out. All right, I'm going to try it with just a standard screwdriver, although usually that doesn't work. That one actually tipped my screwdriver bit. There we go. Sometimes it'll work with the impact. Sometimes the impact is better. Sometimes it's not. That one is really stuck in there. So is that one. Pop the head. I do not have an impact screwdriver that's worth a flip, so it's going to be kind of hard to get these out and show you what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and cut this one out with the drill bit. Using a little bit of PB Blast on the drill bit and just drilling it out in the center. I'm going to try to see if I can get this one out without having to drill it, but as things have been going along so far, I don't know that that's going to happen. Ah, got it. Some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. All right, now I got a little bit of a tech tip for you. If you're trying to take a screw out like this one right here, it's loose in the hole and it's just spinning. It's not going anywhere. So that means we're going to have to either fill these holes in and then use new self-tapping screws when we set everything up, or we're going to have to buy a larger screw to go in these some of these holes. Now, what I'm going to do for this, though, is I'm going to pull up on the metal while I'm unscrewing it. And there, that one let go pretty quick. Sometimes you can screw them straight on out and they'll screw out just like they're supposed to be doing that. Okay, moment of truth. I'm going to pull the panel out to allow us access to the clips, which are in here and held in with self-tapping nuts. Another cool thing about the Fairlane that you can do if you have a problem like we do with the Calvin issue is this whole cowl will come out. And you can go in here and clean all this out if you want to, which we are going to. But then, if you need to, you could actually go in and make some panels to fit inside of here to keep your cowl from taking on a lot of water. Some of these things, like these right here, can be filled in with some putty, and then you can just make sure that you've got some stuff along these screw holes that you basically put down. When you put the screw in, it'll keep it from leaking a lot into the cowl and getting inside the interior. This car has a cowl vent problem that I just really don't want to take the time to fix because it's a four-door. If this were a Torino GT, yes, we would pull everything out and we would go in and fix the cowl, but on this car, I'm really not interested in going that far. All right, so what we're going to do now is going to take the lower trim off of here. Now, it is held in with these little clips. You see one of them right there. These little clips hold the trim in to the base of the windshield. I've got an impact driver, and I'm going to take these out. Take this one out first. Don't lose these if they don't bust. They are specific to this windshield assembly. So there are 6 of these clips holding the windshield in. Come back over on the other side. And the trim piece is split in the center. I'll roll this over and you can see what I'm talking about with the trim clips. I'll take this and set it up here. The nice thing is I don't know if this windshield's ever been out. So what you want to start looking for is indicators of things that were used on these, like this, for instance. This is something that they were using, I'm guessing, to help set the windshield, like so. Like it must have been down in here somewhere, maybe facing this way. This kind of stuff you don't want to lose if you can help it. Yeah, here we go. Let me show you where they are right now. These are silencer clips, it looks like, that would go between the glass and the metal trim. So you don't want to lose these. You hold on onto those. Grab the other one and we'll start moving forward on the glass removal. Again, keep an eye on everything that you can see that might be an indicator of what Ford did originally. Like there was sealer caulk. There was sealer caulk around the base edge of the windshield here. You can see as I'm pulling it up. And they basically used just regular old strip caulk to go in here and help seal this off so you didn't get a lot of water intrusion down behind the glass. This is a tool that I got from the guys at Harbor Freight. I mean, I just went down to Harbor Freight and bought it years and years ago. I don't even know if this thing's still available. I've already broken one of these. So yeah, you might want to get 2 when you get them. And what I'm going to do, though, is something a little different. I'm going to actually heat the tips so I can insert it through the glue. I'm not going to heat it a lot, and I'm going to make it red hot. I'm just going to get it warm. See if that'll help me go in. These windshields, once they are in these cars, they are not easy to come out because there is a channel along here that you're kind of fighting. And it's pretty thick. So what I'm trying to do is to get into a corner and see if I can work it well enough to get down in there, start walking it down. My goal is to not actually try to work the bottom. I'm going to flip the glass out from the bottom, pulling it this way. So I'm really only going to work the top and the sides. This is why I'm wearing gloves and glasses, because this windshield could shatter and come after me, so to speak. You hear that bacon sound, that like sizzling bacon? Bacon. That's indicative of this glass starting to develop fractures. It's already broken. I'm not worried about it, but I'm letting you know what to listen for if you're pulling out a piece of glass that you're trying to keep. You don't want to hear that sound. That is bad juju on glass removal. The problem I have is I can't take it back out without coming all the way back up to the top to heat it again. I don't even know if this is really making a huge difference. It's made me feel better about things in the past, so I'm doing it. See, it does help when that's hot. And the problem is that it cools off relatively quickly. Right there, I just got a face full of glass from that shattered point there. That's why I'm wearing glasses. Still just warm enough to get down to that bottom. Now I got to pull it all the way back up if I can. I don't want to break it out. And I'm going to go now and work the other side. You may be wondering, why don't I just leave this thing running the whole time? Because I am down to this last can of propane. This is the problem right here. I'll send that thing sailing. That would have been the wreck of the windshield right there if I was trying to keep it. I am not. Just blistered that whole corner. This is exactly why I'm wearing glasses and gloves. A lot of force here. Back glass is nice because it's held in with the gasket. It won't be this kind of problem. All right, you saw it pop. Now we gotta figure out if we can pop it from the top without. Oh no, this is good glue. This ain't the cheap stuff. So I used this same tool on the driver's side top portion of the windshield to about 3/4 of the way across to the center. But things are about to get pretty darn sporty. Yep, I just broke the blade. And that's my last one. Well, shoot. Don't mind telling you, I don't like doing it the way I'm fixing to have to do it. This right here is a mean knife. This knife is very sharp. It's also got a haft on it, which will help me from cutting myself. But it's a mean knife. And unfortunately, after this thing, it'll need to be resharpened. All right, that should be the windshield ready to come out. I'm going to roll it over, and then I'll go get the vacuum cleaner, clean up the mess. Boy, is there going to be a mess. Well, that is unfortunate. Houston, we have a problem. Oh my goodness. That right there is enough to make me want to quit. That is completely rusted out in this corner. And this piece here is not available. So you can see how bad the damage is. It is completely, totally gone. There's nothing there. I can make that, but it's going to require a lot of work. Yeah, all the way down to there. I don't know if there's any of that up underneath the rubber, but what I'm seeing is enough to make me want to stop. The problem is, if you go to the salvage yard, you have to find a car that has the same windshield pillar, which that's not hard for me around here, because we got our friends at Temple Auto Salvage have these cars laying around. It's just going to be a matter of having to make that, and I am not a fabricator by any stretch of the imagination. I have a friend who is, and we may talk to Carrie about actually fixing this for us. I haven't even gone and looked at the passenger side. It may be just as bad, but that's kind of a bummer. No, that is a bummer. No, just kind of a bummer. All right, I'm going to cut the windshield free and then pull it on out. Well, that's it. Well, at least for this week anyway. I am not going to go any further until I talk to Jackson. The windshield is out, but you really can't put a headliner in until you get a windshield done, and you can't get a windshield done until you fix that. So that's where we're at right now. If you guys want to see the repair on this, leave a comment in the section below. I'm not even sure I can accomplish that because I don't know that my skills are that good at actually metal forming, because that's got a rounded curve and it's got a dip, and it's also got another dip on the back side of it. So I'm a little concerned about being able to make this happen. I have a buddy that might be able to do it because I think he does have the metal forming tools. Question is am I going to be able to get it done in a timely fashion if I let them do it? Because you know how it is. Everybody that does this kind of work, all 25 of us, we're really busy right around now. So anyway, do me a favor, be kind to each other, love on each other, treat each other nice. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you on down the road. If it ain't one thing or another, I'm going to probably have to pull this thing outside now, pull the wagon in and do the steering box that I've had lurking around for a little while until I can figure out what to do with the problem at hand. Whee!